Hey Canucks fans, the Vancouver Canucks have defeated the New York Rangers in Madison Square Garden by a score of 5-2. Here's what I liked, here's what I didn't like, and here's one other thing. By the way, if you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. And don't forget, tonight, 10 p.m., my weekly Sunday night live stream right here on YouTube. We'll talk even more about this game, so I hope you can join me at that time. Okay, what I like, so many things. Let's start off with the fact that it was a complete team effort. All lines were scoring, special teams were good. It was a great way to start off a 4-game road trip. And admittedly, this was probably the toughest game of the road trip, the first one after flying across the country, across the continent, playing against one of the top teams in the East. So for the Canucks to come up with this big 5-2 victory, very, very impressive. So let's get into some specifics. What I liked, what you always start with Thatcher Demko. Again, another 31 save performance. Many of the saves of a spectacular variety. I think I say this every time the Canucks win, and sometimes when the Canucks lose as well. Thatcher Demko was so good, especially in the first two periods. Third period too, he was good. He couldn't stop everything that the Rangers really poured it on in the third period as they scored those 2 late goals, but never felt like that they would catch up completely. So again, the Rangers had 14 shots on goal in the third period, but so even in the first and second period where they didn't have as many shots, a lot of their chances were really good. So Thatcher Demko on a big stage, I get it. It was a Sunday night. Oh, it's a weekend night. It was a weekend game in New York, and he did not at all falter under the bright lights of the Big Apple. So a great game by Thatcher Demko as always. I liked the Canucks special teams. 1-for-1 on the power play. It was an unlikely source of the goal, and Matthew Heimer, after the first power play unit, took 1:45, and then the second unit only got 15 seconds. It's really not even a second unit. It's basically a even strength unit getting ready for the Rangers player to exit the box. But Matthew Heimer with a nice tip off a Ekman Larsson shot, and that was the power play goal. So the Canucks go 1-for-1 on the power play. They kill off all 3 of New York's power plays. So that's 100% on the power play, 100% on the penalty kill, a rare 200% night for CCSTS, Clay's cumulative special team stats. So yes, again, perfect on the power play, perfect on the penalty kill. And when you can do that, generally you are going to win the game. The Canucks showed a lot of discipline. Yes, they took 3 minor penalties. None of them hurt them. And they only, according to the stats, they only gave the puck away twice. That might be wrong, but still, to be only credited with only 2 giveaways, a very, very impressive game. Individual performances, I mentioned Thatcher Demko. Let's start on defense. It was nice to see production from Schenn, Ekman Larsson, and Tyler Myers scores his first goal of the entire campaign. I like that. It was a beautiful wrist shot, actually. A nice patient play by JT Miller, gaining the zone. Get to JT Miller in a second. And he passes across, finds Myers streaking down the left side, and a really well-placed wrist shot to put it behind Georgiev or Georgia. I heard it as Georgiev earlier today, but then I think John Shorthouse was mentioning as Harji says Gorgiev. Regardless, it beat the goaltender, and it was a wonderful shot and a great smile of relief and a chuckle from Tyler Myers for a few minutes after that goal as well. So I like Tyler Myers' game, not just because of that goal, but he had 2 points and was a +2, was quite noticeable on the ice tonight. I mentioned JT Miller, one of the hottest Canucks going, and again, another 2 assists for him tonight, another 2 points. Just playing so well, +3. The engine behind that first line, of course, with him and Garland and Pearson. And he's a proud player. He's a smart player. I'm sure he wanted to play well in New York. No grudges. It's been a long time since he was drafted by them and started his NHL career with them, but you still want to play well, and he certainly did. Again, a driver of play, 18 minutes of ice time, second most among all forwards, just behind Bo Horvat, and 56% in the faceoff circle, +2, 2 hits, 1 block, 2 takeaways, +3, 2 hits, and 2 assists. So another complete game by JT Miller. Another guy I want to recognize is of course, Elias Pettersson. When he lined up with Hoglander and Chason, I was worried that his point streak would be snapped. I'm not hating on Chason, but I was just surprised, and I vlogged about this yesterday. I was surprised that they broke up Pettersson, Hoglander, and Podkolzin. But yes, Chason was on his right side, and it looked like he was going to be shutout in terms of points, but then he scored that empty netter, a great backhand shot all the way from center. That takes a lot of skill, a lot of confidence to do that, to pull that off, as opposed to just dumping in the zone. Maybe he wanted to extend his point streak, but yes, Pettersson gets his goal, albeit with only a few seconds left. And of course, let's give some love to our fourth line of Highmore, Lammikko, and Motte. Motte, no points, but he was certainly very noticeable in a good way on the ice once again. And then Highmore and Lammikko, not multiple points. Highmore had a goal and assist, and Lammikko had a goal as well. Lammikko's was really nice, gliding backwards, I should say, establishing position beside the net, tipping in the Luke Shen shot at the start of the second period, which ended up being the game winner, so that was nice. And then Highmore, like I said, only 7 seconds it took that second power play unit to score for some insurance. So Lammikko with the third goal, Highmore with the fourth goal, and the Canucks basically sealed it right there. Scored enough to withstand the late barrage by New York. So many things I liked. Special teams, Myers, Miller, Pettersson, and of course, Motte, Lammikko, and Highmore. Anything I didn't like? Well, it's weird. I'm looking at the stats. The only minus I see is Horvat with a -2. And given that that the Rangers scored 2 goals, that means he was on the ice for both Ranger goals. I'm not saying at all that it's his fault, but he was -2. Then a couple other players -1. But really, I can't really find fault or not a lot of things to dislike about the Canucks game. Their ice time was spread out among the forwards, low man being chased on, and then it's definitely spread out among the D, everywhere from 16 minutes to 24. So it wasn't like it was a big lopsided amount for the top 3 guys in Hughes, Ekman Larsson, and Myers. And yeah, that's a really good Rangers team. We're not going to shut them out. So I wasn't upset that the Rangers scored 2 goals at the end of the third before Petey sealed it with his empty netter. So it's not like I'm even going to sit here and say I dislike the way that the Canucks played in the third, because they were still playing hard, but the Rangers obviously turned it up, and Rangers didn't want to suffer 2 straight losses after losing yesterday, but they did. And so it's no surprise. They got some talented players. No surprise. Kreider looked dangerous all night. So I wasn't upset that the Rangers happened to score 2 late ones. So not a lot to dislike about tonight's game. I thought it was a really, really good performance by the Canucks. Probably one of the best performances I've seen all season, and against a very, very good New York Rangers team. Now, one other thing. So here's an interesting thing. Who do the Canucks start in net tomorrow? Because it's a back-to-back on the road, so that would naturally think, okay, it should be Halak. But then they're not really traveling anywhere. They played in New York today, and they're playing New Jersey tomorrow. They might even be staying at the same hotel, frankly, and just busing to the game tomorrow. So they're not flying anywhere, and not a lot of travel. So then you say, okay, maybe Demko can play. Obviously, Demko has played awesome on Calgary. Actually, he's won 3 straight. Beat Seattle 5-2, beat Calgary 7-1, and then beat New York 5-2 tonight. So Demko's obviously played very well these last 3 games. So that leads you towards Demko. I'm not worried about the Halak $1.25 million bonus or whatever it is for triggering his 10th start, which will be his next start. I don't think that Demko's going to play all 25 remaining games. So I'm not even worried about that. Just who gives you the best chance to win right now. So I put a poll up on Twitter just 13 minutes ago, and I already have 190 votes on it, and 63% of people are saying Demko, 37% are saying Halak. So do you worry that Halak gives you a lesser chance to win tomorrow? Do you worry that Demko might get injured? Do you worry that you got to show Halak some confidence and give him some confidence, and the Canucks are playing well right now, so maybe now's a good time to put Halak in? And how much of a drop-off is there from Demko to Halak? So many things to consider. I guess we'll know more tomorrow. Not sure Boudreau's going to commit to anyone tonight. So maybe Demko just sees how he's feeling tomorrow, and he's going to let the coach know. Or maybe Ian Clarkin already has a plan for the 2 goalies. Who knows? But I think that's an interesting thing to think about. If it was a normal back-to-back on the road, well, it'd be weird to have a back-to-back on the road with travel. But normally, or even a back-to-back at home, usually you go with the other goaltender. But where the Canucks are needing so many points right now, does that lead you to lean towards putting Demko in ahead of Halak? I could make arguments for either side, but I'm more interested in what you guys have to say. So tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like, and tell me one other thing. Leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to join me for my live stream at 10 p.m. tonight right here on YouTube. So subscribe if you like to, like this video if you like to, become a member or upgrade if you like to, and leave your comment. What'd you like? What didn't you like? And tell me one other thing. I love to read, react, and reply as always. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. We'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. God bless and go Canucks go.